have Hudson with me, and today we are going to kind of discuss what yielding the hindquarters and forequarters actually means, and the benefits of it, and kind of why we do it. So the horse's body is essentially broken down into 5 parts. So you have the poll, you have the head and the neck, you have the shoulders, the barrel, and then the hindquarters. So my job on the ground, and why I start on the ground, is number 1, it's safer. Number 2, I feel better communicate with the horse on the ground, and then when you go to get on them under saddle, they already know the pressure points, because that's essentially what we're doing, is we're isolating each of these body parts, and we're going to put a pressure point on it that when you add pressure there, that means they need to move away from it. So when we'll start with yielding the hindquarters. So when you yield the hindquarters, you're pushing the hindquarters away from you. So you're yielding them away. So essentially from this side, they're going to plant their front feet as still as possible, and they're going to pivot around. So you want this hind leg here to cross over top of the other one. And when you first start this, you only want 1 step at a time. 1 good step is better than 2 mediocre steps. So don't try to push too much from the very beginning. But so you're going to start up on their head, and you're going to tip their nose towards you, and you're going to cross the shoulder. You're going to kind of tap the air right by the hindquarters. He's not really going anywhere, so I might tap him a little bit. There. And then rub to a stop. So he crossed over twice, but it's a good start. So then I'm going to do it again. So I'm going to pick up. I'm going to tip his nose towards me, tap the air, there, and rub to a stop. So now we'll try it. We'll do it again on this side.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tip his nose, pressure, 1, 2, 3, cross over, rub to a stop.
Not better.
Tap, tap, tap. There. Good. And rub to a stop. And then I always like to go back and just walk back here and just kind of rub on them, because you don't want them to anticipate that every time you cross the shoulder line that they need to move. So this is where your passive and active body language comes in. So right now I'm pretty relaxed. He feels that I'm relaxed, so he knows he doesn't have to go anywhere. Now when I go to add pressure on him, my body language kind of changes to a more active. So I'm kind of crouched down. I'm kind of active body language, feeding into him to get those good steps. And you always want to rub to a stop. And we have his lip licking, so that means he's understanding it, and he's kind of relaxed and thinking. So next we'll move on to yielding the forequarters. So this is actually would be the shoulders. So in this exercise, their hind feet are going to stay still, and he's going to cross this leg closest over top of the other one. So it's almost like a pivot, horsemanship, or like a spin under saddle. So this is the basic building blocks of what those would be. So when you ask for this, you want to pick up and kind of pull over and back with your lead rope. So pulling back is going to keep him from walking forward, and a little bit of away from him is just going to direct him where it wouldn't be. So it doesn't have to be a whole lot of pressure, just enough contact where you can feel him. And you're going to put a little bit of pressure on his shoulder. And I always tip. There. And rub to a stop. Now he's pretty light, so he doesn't need a whole lot of pressure, but you can always add your stick if you need to. And you can hold it kind of horizontally like this and kind of bump on him that way. So up and down, tap, tap, tap. There, and rub to a stop. And you might have to add even more pressure if your horse is super lazy. So I usually do it in counts of 3 to 4. So if I'm, 1, 2, 3, he's not moving, I need to increase pressure. If he still doesn't move, another 3 counts, increase pressure again. And then the second he goes to to move its feet, that's when you release. So the faster your release is, the faster he's going to gather onto the concept of it. And kind of the softer you ask initially is the softest they're going to get. So if you, right off the bat, just start wailing on him, he's never really going to get any softer than that. So you want to start, even though you don't know he's not going to go anywhere, you want to start with, like, tap in the air. So he's not going anywhere. So then I might tap him a little bit. And rest of the stuff. So eventually I'll be able to move him with my fingers and just kind of tap right near his head, and he's going to kind of move away from me. And obviously you want to do this to both sides, because horses are left brain and right brain. They don't connect in the middle, so that's why we always pull things separately. So make sure you do this on both sides of your horse. And like I said before, we're going to do these same exercises under saddle, which I'll show you in a separate video. And but it basically just gets your horse softer. It isolates the body parts, so you can do more advanced maneuvers such as side passes, leg yields, that sort of thing. But if you guys have any questions, let me know.